So it will generate from magnitude 4 to magnitude climate change right now are very worsened, especially in the ASEAN region. Thank you, sir, and good evening.
Thank you, Stephen, and that's I think a great introduction, and you know we wish you and your family and the people of your region all the best in the face of the various natural and man human induced human exasperated enhanced disasters that you are facing. So I'm going to begin now. I am recording, and we will share a copy of the recording with everybody who has registered and given us our email address. And so, if you do want to receive a recording, please do make sure that we have your email address. Alec will be putting an attendance sheet into the chat later on. We don't do it till towards the end of the meeting to make sure that you actually stick through the meeting. But then we'll send out the recording to everybody who stays on the attendance sheet. You're also free to feel free to share your email address in the chat, either to me directly or to the group if you want to share. So today, most of us, most of you, not me, but the rest of you are mostly in the Philippines. I'm delighted to have so many of you joining us at a late time for yourselves. We're going to talk about climate change and climate justice and climate education for climate solutions in the Philippines. We will be I'm going to give a brief introduction, and then we will turn it over to our friend Alec Hope Buenaventura from the Philippines and Tony Suzuka from the Philippines via Japan, and then a chance for each of you to share things, at least in the chat, about what you're doing and what you're liking to do. So just as a little bit of an introduction, I work for Bard College in the United States. Bard College is in New York. It's about 100 miles up the Hudson River from New York City. I myself live outside the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., which is about 250 miles or so from Bard College. But I can do this work and talk with you around the world through the wonders of Zoom and other technology. So our goal here is to help you to be climate educators, for your students to be educating your teachers maybe about the importance of climate change education, and for all of us to build communities working together for climate change, climate solutions, and climate justice. I'm going to share my screen briefly, not give a long presentation, but I do want to share that we have the approach is what we call worldwide um, climate education. We have declared next month, March of 2026, to be Worldwide Climate Injustice Education Month. We are inviting each of you to share activities in your class, in your school, in your communities, and to help others to be as concerned as you are. I'm going to show a brief video now that we made a few years ago with an internship, a virtual internship that Tony and Alec participated in. And I think you're all aware of the stakes and some of the solutions, but this, I think, will help you to remind you just kind of how important everything is and what the stakes are.
Dr. David, um, I believe there's no audio for the video.
Okay, thank you for letting me know.
Yeah.
Let me go back on that. I thought I had shared the sound. Oops, okay, let me apologize on that. Start again.
It can take air out of my little brother's lungs.
What if it submerges my Bangladeshi land of love, magic, stories, and songs?
I'm afraid my hands can do nothing to stop the downpour.
I'm afraid it will leave us alone in a world of concrete and plastic.
Groom Gaia into a vacant void.
It will take the green and leave us in the dark.
I'm afraid it will bring out the worst in people.
Uprooting our families and communities.
Leaving our children to an irreversible nightmare.
Taking the beauty of each season from us.
Causing untold suffering that could have been prevented.
I am afraid.
I'm afraid.
I'm afraid.
I'm afraid.
I'm afraid. What are we being taught?
What are they teaching us?
Economics, literature, math, engineering, history, music.
What meaning do they hold if our climate swallows us whole?
I can be courageous.
I can be courageous.
I can use my voice and passion, keep fighting even on the days it feels hopeless.
I can fight for my people.
I can hold on to the beauty we still have.
I can save our land against this man-made havoc.
I can be a voice for the sky, the soil, and the sea. I can make a good future for our next generation.
I can stand up, even when it feels easier to sit down.
I can love my brothers and sisters and protect their lives, because we have the same mother, the great Mother Earth.
I can be louder than polluters that try to silence life.
I can do my part and lift others around me to do better.
I can ask my teacher to make climate.
I can ask my teacher to make climate a class. I can ask my teacher to
make climate a class.
Make climate a class.
So this is what we're asking you to do. We want to acknowledge the feelings that you and others have, your fellow students, your fellow teachers, that climate change is real, climate change is scary, but that if we work together, we have voices, we can make changes, we can be advocates for the earth, we can be advocates for our families, we can be advocates for our communities. If you're a teacher, we ask you to sometime in this next month of March or before or after to make climate a class, show how your topic, whether it's math or science or English or art, how that's relevant to climate solutions and climate justice. If you're a student, you have a lot of power. Talk to your teachers, ask them to make climate a class. And if your teachers don't know what to do, you can help them, because we're going to talk about resources such as Klima Propel that Tony is going to present today that will help them to be better educators about climate. And you as students, if those of you are students, you can organize teach-ins yourselves that whether it's in class or out of class, to educate yourself and your fellow students about what's going on and what we can do. So we've been really very fortunate to be working with Alec Hope Buenaventura and Team Philippines for 4 years now. They've been among our most active participants in this worldwide project. We have had participation in more than 80 countries, but Philippines is really one of the most active. And I thank Alec and Tony, and I thank all of you. So Alec, why don't you go ahead and begin, please.
Okay, Dr. David. Is it okay for Tony, if I go first, I believe it's much later in her time in
Is that okay?
Japan.
It's fine
Do you
with
want to
me.
go first, Tony?
Any is
Or
okay.
huh? I'm sorry.
Uh, sure. So maybe I can go first since
Okay.
you might need more time also
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
present. Okay.
Is that okay, Dr. David? If Tony
Sure.
goes
However you two want to do
first.
it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So just in way of introduction, Tony Suzuki, who is currently in Japan, um, has been with us also for 4 years, and as she's moved through her bachelor's degree and now master's degree education, has developed a wonderful resource for climate educators in the Philippines and the world around. So go ahead, Tony, please, and thank you for staying up so late.
Okay. So hello everyone. So first of all, I want to thank again Dr. David and of course Alec for giving me this time to talk about Klima Popel once again. Okay, so let me just share my screen. All right, so are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So there, so again, so thank you for having me here. And first, so let me introduce a bit about myself. So aside from being a part of the Worldwide Teach-In, yeah, so I'm surprised to hear that it's been 4 years already since I began with the team. So my name is Tony, and right now I work as an English teacher for elementary and high school students here in Japan. And I graduated under the Bachelor of Education Studies at the University of the Philippines Open University, or UPOU. And as Dr. David have mentioned, I'm also taking up my master's right now, so in development communication, so still in UPOU. And yeah, so today I'll be sharing about Clean Papel. So for those who haven't uh, seen me yet during the past webinar or for the new ones here. So just to a brief introduction. So Klima Papel. So it started during my undergrad studies. So it was a capstone course project for my undergrad. And I worked with Dr. David as well in creating all of this since I was a part of the internship. And yeah, there's so many things that I've seen or I've learned from the internship for Worldwide Teach-In that it ended that I made my project or my capstone course project still related to the climate movement. So that birthed Klima Papel. So yeah, so the Klima Papel. So first, maybe you're not yet familiar of the website. So this website is a product of my academic work and experience in climate education. So as you can see on your screen, so it says environmental education resources in the Philippine context. So it was my goal to create lesson plans or other activities in the Philippine context, all related to climate education. So basically, a website that contains lesson plans and other original and sourced e-learning content for the movement. So to make teach-ins or climate discussions. And I also included like links to other websites and content that you may use to participate in the Worldwide Climate and Justice Education Month anytime. So the goal is to make materials not just for teachers or students, but also for any people under any profession, any time they need to begin a climate conversation. So, okay. And on the site, so I developed a few lesson plans for now. So there's about on my end, I made 6 lesson plans. So of course, a research on the Philippine context, examples, and then made them into activities or lessons that can be used in classrooms or even outside classrooms. So each lesson comes with instructions and suggestions on how it can be used in different settings. And I also included some supplementary materials that the facilitators can easily use or edit as they need. And recently, I've also added some new content on the e-learning side, so such as a factual quiz. So it's just a simple quiz, but can start conversation since it includes a climate change facts. And also, I made some original digital storybook. So as you can see on your screen, so it's entitled Nohori and the Sea. And I made also a Tagalog version, of course. So the goal is to make Tagalog versions of everything. So there. So also I included a user guide. So it, just a simple one. And then a gallery of previous posts from the Worldwide Teach-In project. And now, so I would like to take you to a quick walkthrough on the website. So yeah, let me just open that. And if you'd like, so you can also open it right now as we go along. So I'll put the link on the chat box. So, but it's easy. So you can just type climapapel.com and then so you can see the this screen already. Okay, so I can't chat. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so there's so you can click that link and then you can also look by yourself right now. So whichever you prefer. So when you launch the website, so this is what you see. So this is it's a very simple website, but yeah, so you can see some of the materials from the Worldwide Climate and Justice Education Month. So these are this is the previous explainer for 2024 and also some other information about Klimapapel as well. So first, so this is the main tab. So the para sa mga guro. So these are the lesson plans and guides that I created first. So as you can see, so the titles are in Tagalog and all related to, of course, the Philippine context. So one example of the lesson plan that I can show you. So maybe let's just go to, okay, let's choose this one. So Himig ng Inang Kalikasan. So from this Filipino song that's about nature, so I made an entire lesson plan out of the song. And also you can see the objectives and then resources that I included. So of course the lyrics, and then so I translated it into English so that for those who want to use the song but maybe do not understand the song as a whole, so they can base from this and get a gist of what the song is about. And then yeah, so this is I think the original singer of the song. So this is the YouTube link for the audio. And then yeah, so I also include a PDF file of the lesson plans that I made. So here's the example. Then, for example, I put questions for reflection, and then how you could analyze the song for the students, especially during classroom discussions, and then also a suggestion for how they can collaborate on it, how they can talk more about it, and then of course an assessment or reflection section. So this is the format of what I did for the lesson plans here in Klimapapel. So that's just one of the examples. So you can go ahead and check other examples later. And yeah, so different topics. So karagatan, so of course about the sea, pagkain. So this is mostly about food waste. And then change, climate change. So this is based on the song that the Worldwide Teach-In interns created, or ALEC also helped compose and sing. So this is one of my favorite parts of the lesson plans, because it's really a product of the internship. And so here, Anak ng Pasig, so about the river, Pasig River revitalization. And then Barangay Tumana, so a community in, Rizal, is it? I think. So I forgot. But yeah, so this is about, this is on the higher education side. So more on research and, yeah. And then, so other tabs, so you can see the Klima Papel e-learning. So this is where you'll see the quiz and the digital storybooks. And then international climate resources. These are links to other resources that you can use for your teach-ins or discussions. And then some webinar links, or mostly previews teach-ins that we have also hosted. So with the Worldwide Climate and Justice Education Week, a month now. And then gallery, so let me click on that. So these are just the some materials that we've also created in the Philippines team before. So also very informative materials that you can use in your class or in your discussions, or some, yeah, so mostly, of course, facts about the environment. Okay. And then, yeah, so, and then the user guide that I have shown a while ago. And then here in the community, so this is an added tab. So this is very new. I just added this last week because, as you know, so I'm also taking up some suggestions, or if you or anyone you know want to create lesson plans as well, or want to contribute to the website. So I've made this tab. So I've added one right now because so this was a submitted lesson plan. So this will be the site or the place for all the submissions that, of course, I'll review them first, and then if it's a really good lesson plan or it really works, and then so we can work on it together, or you can just submit your own, and then this will be the place for that. And then, of course, a communication corner. So if you want to collaborate with, or you have suggestions, inquiries, so of course the makipag-ugnayan tab, so, or contact tab. Okay. And then, yeah, so let me get back to, sorry, I just have cold.
That's wonderful, Tony. And you know, I think as we look at this, we can all just imagine how much work it has taken Tony to put all of this information together. And I'm really not aware of a similar website that is focused on a country and, you know, combining a native language, indigenous language, and so many resources. So go ahead, Tony. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about that?
Yeah, just like the last part. So am I sharing the correct screen? Okay. Okay, just for the last part. So again, so looking ahead, so one of my main goals is to work with more people and hopefully some communities, and hoping to include more community-based like samples and lesson plans, especially on the lesson plans part. So I want to make more of them, but of course, so it's a matter of how much time so I have on the side. But yeah, so up to now, Klima Papel has really been mainly a one-person project in terms of well, everything. So even the website, so the interface. So that's why it's a bit simple, since I'm really it's not on my expertise side how to create all the website and how to develop the uh, interface of the website. But yeah, so I think it still works. So that's good enough for now. But yeah, so again, so if anyone of you or anyone you know has suggestions, ideas, or would like to collaborate in any way, so I'm very open to that. And yeah, just if you want to share any of your skills, any of your expertise in Klima Papel, so I'm very happy to work with you. So you can reach me in the Klima Papel email and or even my personal email. So I put it there, so my work email. And that's about it. So thank you, and I hope you'll take some time to explore Klimbapel and maybe even be a part of where it goes next. And that's it for me. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Tony. This is wonderful, and you know we all benefit from your hard work. And so, if you're a teacher, please explore and use what Tony has created, and then share what you've created so that it can be part of this site and share with others. If you're a student, please explore, learn. You can learn yourself without, you know, if your teachers aren't teaching you these things, go through the lesson plans and teach yourself, but also talk to your teachers and ask them to make climate a class and encourage them to explore the Klima Papel website. So are there any questions for Tony? What do you all think? She's getting hearts from me and Alec. I think Tony needs more hearts than just from a couple of us. Let's give her some hearts to let her know how much we appreciate her hard work. There we go. All right. Now,
thank you so much for
now
the
it's
hearts.
lighting up. All right. So yeah, please explore. So questions for Tony before we let her go to bed? All right. Well, please take the time to explore, and let's turn to Alec, and you can talk about more about what's going on this coming month in the Philippines, and how everybody can be involved.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. David. Actually, I will take this opportunity also to talk about what we have accomplished so far. So, uh, yes. Because well, I think I just think that it would inspire some of the people here as to how we started this movement. So I believe my presentation is visible. You
Yes.
can we confirm that? Thank you, Doctor. All right. So um what I'm going to present to you are just stories maybe of how it has been for 4 years in the movement. Wow, that was quick. I mean, suddenly it's 4 years now. But it all started with just a small initiative of course of Bard College through our co-directors. And then eventually the suddenly the movement is big already. It is really a worldwide movement. So what you're seeing in the screen, I titled this presentation Worldwide Climate and Justice Education PH. To mean Philippines, it means what we're doing, what are we about to do, and then the name of our organization, Youth for Active Citizenship and Leadership, or YAKAL Pilipinas, which is created um well, because also or we started this movement. So let me begin by sharing with you uh Bart's theory of change. So uh, Dr. David has been saying that we have been doing hard work and all that, but they have been ever since very present in terms of honing us, inspiring us, and mentoring us into how we can begin. So it started with just a simple theory of change of BART, where they encourage us to, in order for us to really change the system, we have to change the minds. That means you have to change to how people think, change the rules that talks about policy, make it more sustainable, uh, green, and environmental friendly, whatnot, no? And change the game eventually, which it talks about businesses. So for Dr. Iban, the other co-director, it's Earth Conscious. His term is Earth Conscious Business. Okay, and this world needs leaders like you, us, okay, to make this happen. So with those simple words or idea, just a simple theory, our co-leaders, Dr. David and Dr. Iwan, was able to spark, no, starting from that social media internship. So way back 2022, it was just around we were around 30 to 50, I believe, interns working as social media interns for the worldwide climate teach in for climate and justice. That is what is it's called way back then, 2022. So eventually, we were able to produce a certain amount of teachings in 2022, and on 2023, they Dr. David talked to us together with Dr. Iban as well, if we can uh uh like we can continue with the partnership. And then eventually we were just a 9-person team. So Tony was there, she was we were co-leaders back then in 2023. But amazingly, because of course, the passion of each and every one of us, we were able to produce lots of teach-ins. We were actually surprised as to how many teachings we were able to conduct, and we were able even to conduct a teach-in Osaka, Japan, as led by Tony herself then. And we were again a 9-man team. We do our own, or we switch tasks. Some of us do the social media work, the graphics. And then eventually, when 2023 came to pass, of course, some of us needs to move on. They cannot really prioritize anymore joining the movement. So we needed to have a certain transition, and that's when, fortunately, uh, the Youth for Active Citizenship and Leadership was created. So from another member that time, Sir James Boama, we created an organization for youth. So we specify for youth, but it's really inspired of how the worldwide climate teach in for climate and justice has been. So we kind of adopted the leadership strategy, the way we do things, our strategy in social media. And Yakal right now is a thriving organization. I might say, no, that's a thriving organization. We have more than, I think, 20 members who are active, and other members who are uh, still catching up, maybe. So the inspiration for this is we needed, one is that we needed really to have more participants. And fortunately, the second reason is that we really have young people here in the Philippines who are really passionate and really wanted to do something, not just about climate, no, about different issues around the world. So how do we conduct what we call climate teach-ins? Okay, that's odd. Is my slide showing as should be? Or is it, yeah, yeah. Okay, so we learned that climate teach-in here in this movement would be a certain kind of discussion to raise climate consciousness. So please, when you talk about, or when you think about having a climate event or a teach-in, do not be intimidated by the term. Uh, it actually just a conversation about climate solutions, what we can do locally, what can we do as students, as educators, in our own simple ways. So in the Philippines, we adopted, of course, doing number one, climate events. So climate events, these are gatherings or, well, events that is related to climate change, and we collectively talk about it. So it can be in the form of a webinar, a seminar, a workshop, uh, or whatever innovations you might think of. Okay, and then there are classroom teach-ins. What we do in classroom teach-ins, for example, I was an educator back then in 2023 and 2022. So what I did is that I allotted one period of my class discussing climate justice to my students. So um, the challenge there is for me to relate the topic of climate justice to my specialization. So for example, since I teach back then, I teach politics. So I discuss it in a way that is in a view or perspective of rights-based approach, or in politics in terms of how geopolitical tensions are made, and how that geopolitical tensions are actually created climate change, and how it actually still make it persist, no? Climate change persists because of those geopolitical tensions. That's just an example. It can be as simple as, for example, if you're a values teacher, you can talk about the moral side of taking care of the environment, as to why we have to be active rather than in despair in terms of this problem. So those are climate teach-ins. We still do that. And if you're an educator, if you know someone who teaches certain subject, please encourage them. So I just want to share with you some of the uh, things and partners that we've had. So in focus, just highlighting some. So of course, our alma mater, University of the Philippines Open University. Well, I'm still a student right now, and Tony is still a student. But now in different contexts. We always do climate conversations. We are actually preparing one. Maybe I believe we were scheduled to talk about this on the 26th with the management of with the public service office of the University of the Philippines Open University. We also had one twice rather in University of the Philippines Baguio, and uh, in Our Lady of Fatima University, where I taught way back 2022, 2024. We had different discussions on climate there, of course. And as per the Birth of Yakal Pilipinas this 2024, we have been conducting some webinars about environment. So for example, we relate environment with the rights of the indigenous peoples. We had the workshop of Make Climate a Class, so maybe we can also do that this coming March. And we had a benefit concert for a site of struggle in terms of environment. So that's also our way of dealing with climate justice. In terms of the last year's participation of Yakal, these are the three main topics that we have focused on. So, of course, climate justice and rights of nature, circular economy, and renewable energy and just transition. So, these are just some topics just to give you an idea as to how you can actually, or what topics are related to these kinds of discussions. So, these are webinars. But again, if you have a community with you, people actually do that. Maybe later I might mention some examples. Of course, I have mentioned that it's challenge, but it's also actually good that we are able to intersect the topic of climate in terms of different subject matters. For example, what you see on the screen, I mentioned politics already. I mentioned philosophy. Maybe what's interesting here is, for example, in psychology, we could talk about the effects of climate change to mental health. We actually had one webinar about it. We can talk about rights-based approach, climate and gender, for instance. We can talk about business, like how do you make a sustainable supply chain model, for example. So, uh, is it still that way? The screen doesn't change from the title. Sorry, should I reshare my screen so this gets fixed?
You should, if you click, wait, yeah, try again. Now we're seeing kind of the middle of the
Yeah.
page.
I'm sorry, I was actually discussing. I thought it follows my my click, but apparently. Let me just try to
Why don't
reshare
you
it
just
again.
reshare? Yeah,
Yeah, of
I think
course.
they are advancing. We just saw intersectionality a moment ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's where I am at, actually. So let
Yeah,
me try
go
again.
back and share. Yeah, I think they're going okay. I'm not sure what the one issue is, but
Sorry.
go back and share, Ella.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so yeah, so it's important also to talk about, or at least it's one of our strategies, because when we talk about climate change, some people might think that it's only about the greenhouse gas effect, the emissions. But well, here in the Philippines, we can talk about adaptation, especially with, for example, what Sir Stephen has been sharing with us, although that's earthquake, but recently he shared that they have been hit by a typhoon. The question of how adaptive is the Philippines, that can be a topic of discussion in your locality. Like, how do you employ your local knowledge in terms of uh, climate action? That's also a good intersectional discussion, right? So, next, innovations. We don't just do webinars, we uh, also do some innovative ways of delivering the topic to different audiences. So, for example, we just had a discussion on Klima Papel earlier by Tony. So, it has been uh, actually, how many times have we discussed Klima Papel with other people in different ways, different methods? But it's a very creative way to encourage people to talk about climate because you're giving the resources. So, of course, we have the hashtag Make Climate a Class, where we try to help educators uh, get that idea that their subject matter is actually, or they can teach climate in any subject matter that they teach. So for example, the hardest one I've been asked is maybe mathematics. So what I answered is that you can, if you're teaching statistics, there are lots of data about climate. But if you're like, for example, you're teaching elementary students and the elementary level, you can use as problem solving questions. And then from there, you go explaining, you go about and explain how climate is related to their lives, and why is it important to take care of the environment. Okay, we also have different uh, ways to engage people. So, for example, we've had the National Climate Leadership Convention. I believe there are 3 conventions already. In these conventions, we don't just talk, but we actually uh, propose something, a solution to the problems of we talk about the issues here, yes, but at the end of the day, we have the groups, or the bodies to be divided into groups, and they have to compete with uh the best output as to how they can resolve the issue that they have. Of course, this is all theoretical, but this makes us talk about actual solutions to problems. So we have also sustainability talks where we invite experts, and then just it's kind of not a webinar but more of an interaction, no? Starting with the host and then the guest, and then eventually the people can ask. Of course, we have other ways like Gig for a Cause, as I have mentioned. So what do we do in Gig for a Cause or Concert for a Cause is that we produce small, not grand, no, small events where we play songs, not necessarily about environment, but when we gather, we create an event, we spur an event for an issue to be number one, uh, for us to make that issue known to public, especially if it's a climate justice issue. Number two, if the funds we get there is we give that to the community for them to be able to fund their advocacies and what they are fighting for. So we have done this once in Yakal, but personally I have been doing this since 2019. But uh again, that is another avenue you can also tap if you have different talents, not just music. Maybe you can dance, you can play. International in the worldwide climate just I believe they've had contest for playwrights. Yeah. Uh, Involve. Of course, we can also do climate events while we involve ourselves. So for example, uh, here we had a teach-in with the indigenous people of Daraitan, Tanay Rizal in the Philippines. They are experiencing environmental issues as well as question to their ancestral claims because of a huge hydroelectric dam project. So, well, hydroelectric dam might be considered as renewable energy source, but of course, we also have to deal with issues of justice here. That's why we consulted them. That's one. Second is we consulted them about their local knowledge about climate change, and we were surprised as to how rich their knowledge about climate, how they were able to read weather back then, and that's the proof that there's climate change because right now they cannot really be certain about the weather anymore. So those are just some things that we've learned from this immersive experience and being involved. We also partner with what we call Damit Dignidad. Damit means clothes, Dignidad means dignity in Filipino. So uh, it's it's a disaster response preparedness and response organization, but we are helping them kind of realize uh their organization's mandate to become or to contribute to circular economy, to reduce waste, of course, to lessen carbon footprint, of course, or carbon emissions also. Okay, so we established the Yakal's Humanitarian Response Committee for this. So this is again a result of that internship in 2022. We now have a humanitarian response committee. Okay? So in effect, these are just numbers, of course. From 2022 to 2025, about 6,000 people were engaged. This is actually a conservative estimate because we really had teach-ins like we have participants, have 300 participants in Zoom. That's 2023, 2024, 2025 also. Okay, and we have been invited by various organizations to partner with them. So if you have an organization you want to partner with us, we're very much open, of course. We've influenced or encouraged 15 organizations, schools to conduct their own climate teach-ins. And you can also opt that if you feel that you can actually do your own event. Of course, we will support you. Um, if you want us to be your social media or we endorse your event in social media, we promote it. Of course, we will be glad to help you. If you need speakers from us, resource speakers, we would glad to help you find one. If you don't need our help at all, it's also fine. We're glad that you're participating in this endeavor, and these are the names of the partners that we've had through the years, and some of them were still close partners with us. So I'm about to end with just two more in. So first is the invitation. This roughly the Rights of Nature and Climate Justice Center of the Yakal Pilipinas has conducted its meeting yesterday, and we have this kind of concepts already, and we are just identifying the prioritization of the dates of these events, and we are ready to plant them on the map of our interactive map on the website once it's finalized. But right now, if you're interested with these topics, we will be discussing them. So as you can see, there are lots of ways that we can actually talk about climate, and these are some of the idea brilliant from the brilliant minds of the youth. Actually, I did not, to be honest, so did not contribute any more to the title, the topic. No, it was if Ella is here, it was the work of our secretariat, Ella, and the rest of the Rights of Teacher Center, which is headed by Elle. I believe Elle is here. And can you say hi? Okay, Elle.
Yeah, hi po. Hi.
So Elle would be, maybe if you want to engage with us, you will be talking with her because she is our center leader for environment, so Rights of Nature, Climate Justice. And other members, I believe you're also here. So see, that's how the movement has progressed. These young people are actually doing their part in terms of discussing about climate action. And finally, initiate. Again, I encourage every one of us to please initiate an event, a climate games day, a climate class. If you go to the website, as I believe Dr. David introduced to us, so www.worldwide-climate.ed.org, you can see that there's an interactive map where you can actually register your event. Now, there are many things that we can do. There are many ways that we can do this. If you wanted to register on your own, please do so. Again, the website is up and running. It's available. There are actually two events already planted, and they are not related to Yakal because you don't need to. If you really want just to participate on your own, you can do so. But we're very much willing to help, of course. Now, it's just two. If you want to if you have an idea, you can you're not so sure how to deal with it, we can help you with that. If you want us to be the one to coordinate with Dr. David in terms of your event, we can also do that. There's just one thing that we wanted to uh, ask of you is that if you are to plan your event, please leave your emails so we can actually contact you about uh, your event, because at the end of it, Dr. David's team will be asking some report or how, or just asking how your teaching climate discussion went. So knowing from my experience, it's if it's really your passion, it's actually fulfilling to see students realize that there are lots of things climate action can fix, not just the entirety of the environment, but there are lots of socio-cultural issues that are also intersectional or intersected with climate action. There are scientific revolutions, innovations that are actually uh, helpful in terms of climate action, such as renewable energy sources or structures or sustainable buildings and such. You will be amazed as you try to talk about it. You will learn lots of things that you don't know yet about climate. Climate is a very broad thing to talk about, but uh, really fulfilling when you see that there's action, that people are moving from despair to action. So as we say in Yakal, kabataan ang tanglaw ng pag-asa, vita activa. So that's the a glimmer of hope. So live actively. If you want to connect with us, here's our email. Most of you or some of you are already attending our events, and we're grateful for that. Please like and follow our Facebook page so that you can be you're updated with our events. All right, so that's it for me. Thank you for listening.
That's amazing, Alec. Before people are going to have to get off in a moment, so please put the sign up sheet into the chat so that people can mark their attendance today and be able to get their certificates for participating. But yeah, so that's wonderful, Alec, and I love all of the energy, the creativity, the art that has come together. And we're looking forward to having lots of different. I know there's a lot that's going on in the Philippines, but unless you put it on the map, we're not going to know. Other people in the Philippines are not going to be able to find you, and also the world isn't going to see just the level of climate education in the Philippines. So here's your chance to represent yourself and to represent your nation. Are there questions um, or comments for Alec? Yeah, go ahead, Gilbert.
Thank you very much. So, my question to Alec, first of all, I would like to thank him for his wonderful work, which is really, really fascinating. Please, Eric, as you are doing a great work, I would like to ask you this question based on this where you highlighted the word innovation, especially you mentioned some points based on the innovation. So, in this context, what are other strategies do you plan to use in order to increase participation? Thank you very much.
Oh, that was a very wonderful question. You know what, Gilbert,
its participants.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, so that was a very great question, and that's actually something that we have learned through experience in the Philippines. Well, here in the Philippines, contextualizing, um, our main strategy is number one, social media. What we do is that we strengthen our social media arm, and that is what we actually learned from our internship. And I am actually blessed with members from Yakal who are young people who are very keen in terms of engagements in social media. So that's how we do it here in the Philippines. And if that actually could work with you, you can also try that. So before we have an event, this is how we build it up. Before we have an event, we make sure that the page is active. And by that we mean we post some as you might have seen with Tony's example in the Klima Papel, we have different posts, factual posts about climate, about environment, or about certain issue that might uh get the curiosity and the attention of people in the Philippines, in the social media, or in the digital world. Now, once we get their attention, they might follow us, or at least we are now on their algorithm. We now post our events. And then it would become a cycle, like we post our events, and then on our events we promote our social media. When what we also do is that this is the strategy also we've learned from the movement. When we do events, we ask for the email, and those email we ask when we ask through email if they wanted to be updated So if they answered yes, they would be kept on our contacts list, and they will be informed about the next uh, events that we will be having. So that's our strategy in terms of making sure that there are participants, continuous participants, and uh, there are people who really wants to engage. They have been given the access to. In terms of um attracting more. Okay, so in the Philippines, we provide e-certificates. So in the Philippines, when you're looking for a job, or if you want to learn something, but you need to, of course, you need to have certain proof that you have learned something. Uh, it is very important that you have a certificate for that. So sometimes, for example, teachers, they are required to get certain amounts of training. So it it also, maybe some of you are like that right now. No, you don't really uh you're just curious as to what we're talking about, what we'll be talking about tonight, but you're not really uh into climate yet. You just know that there's an e-certificate, and that's fine. That's how we also engage with people, and then eventually they just stay because they get the sense of what we're doing. So those are just some techniques. Of course, there are lots, and what I'll end with this concept. Maybe the term or the idea of context. What works for us sometimes doesn't work for other countries. So make sure that if you adopt it, so for example, when we adopt uh, the teach-in strategies of BARD, we make sure to contextualize it in the Philippine context as well. So uh, thank you, Gilbert, for your kind comments and for that question.
You are most welcome.
Right. Are there, yeah, so Stephen is talking in the chat about the power of social media and using technology to help advantage. Alec has talked about sort of how their strategy is a multi phase strategy for engaging the community. Are there other questions or comments for Alec after this wonderful presentation? I realize it's late for those of you in the Philippines, um, and we've been on for an hour. So let me conclude by saying that we will have another webinar at this time next week, and actually every week for the next couple of months. If you have specific things that you want to ask about or present about, you can let me know, and we will share the recording with each of you. If you filled out the form that that Alec has submitted, then we can that you'll get a certificate. Here's a great question from Christine, who is looking at a thesis topic for her undergraduate degree in accounting. And is it possible to integrate climate issues topics? I would say absolutely. One of the key questions in terms of climate change is the emissions of greenhouse gases, and how um, how you even identify the sources of the greenhouse gases. How do you tell how much is being emitted? There are a lot of companies involved. There's something that's called the Greenhouse Gas Management Institute, and they have a lot of tools, online classes and things like that. But yeah, there's a whole industry that's developed. I'll put that organization into the chat now. But yeah, I think that's a great example of how regardless of what your field is, that we can have ways to incorporate climate change, climate solutions, and climate justice in that. Yeah. Any other questions or comments from anyone? So again, I think we'll stop the formal presentation. Again, thank you, Tony and Alec, not only for your wonderful presentations today, but for all of your hard work with us over the past 4 years. And please, get on our map, get lots of dots in the Philippines, and show what you're going to be doing this coming month. So have a great day, everybody. I'm going to stop the recording now and